that's referred to as the third world of American politics, and that's Social Security reform. And basically, there hasn't been any Social Security reform since 1983. As a result, in a decade or two, depending on which groups you ask, the Social Security program is going to be significantly underfunded. So my question to you is, are you going to have the courage to stand up to the AARP, to the senior citizens lobbies who vote in very large numbers and say, I'm going to be willing to either raise the retirement age, reduce benefits, or increase the FICA taxes that are taken out of our paychecks? So that's my first question. The second follow-up question is, do you believe that the FICA tax should be raised, considering that somebody like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Tom Cruise, they pay the same amount in FICA taxes as maybe a single mom who's juggling 3 jobs? So what specific things would you do to reform Social Security?
I'm for privatizing it, but let me say this first of all, that obviously we're down, we started the program at 35 workers to 1 beneficiary, you're down to about 2.2 workers per beneficiary. If we don't change the program, obviously I think we should raise the retirement age for younger people, maybe starting in their 40s, to save it. We're starting to run deficits already. This problem really isn't that hard to fix, unlike Medicare, which is a much bigger problem. But obviously the system we have now is, we put money in, the Congress steals it, spends it on their own pet projects. There is no money. There's no money. They've stolen it all. I mean, we can't have a worse system than that. You know, what I suggest we do, obviously in Chile, they have put the money in the economy, you have your own private accounts. It grows, it's in the economy, and you could actually, the government could actually guarantee people a certain rate of return. If, for example, when you put it in the stock market, some money market funds or mutual funds, and let's say the stock market did crash in the year that you're trying to get some of your money out, you could actually government guarantee that money so that you wouldn't take any loss or beating. Because the argument against privatizing is that it's not that it doesn't work in other countries or hasn't worked or the system's working. It's that what if the stock market crashes? Well, you can have the government guarantee so nobody have to worry, seniors wouldn't have to worry about their money or if the market crashes. But we want to have that. We believe in freedom. The money should be yours. To give the money to Pelosi and Reid to steal it and spend money and take it from you guys. And now we're not securing it because we're printing money, and the value of your Social Security dollar keeps dropping and dropping and dropping because food prices, energy prices, healthcare prices are soaring. It's the inflation story nobody talks about. They don't count that in the inflation statistics. So we're not saving Social Security right now. We're destroying it for people on fixed incomes. It's already killing our seniors.
Security as originally designed should never go bankrupt because the people who work were supposed to put money into Social Security Trust Fund. That money was supposed to gain interest, and then, as you know, unfortunately, not everyone lives their full life. So that money should have rolled over and stayed in there. It should never been me paying for somebody else. The biggest travesty was when somebody in government said, wow, look at all that money in there, and let's take that money and spend it somewhere else. That's what killed Social Security. It wasn't how many people died. It wasn't because of baby boom generation. No, it was because government doesn't know how to take its greedy hands off of that money and put it somewhere else. And then it went backwards because every time you borrow money from Social Security and use it somewhere else, you're borrowing that money, having to pay interest. So not only are you not gaining interest to help keep the Social Security Trust Fund solvent, you're actually going backwards because you have to pay interest on the money that you borrowed to go with it. So that's what I would do. I would propose, if I could, a constitutional amendment saying stay away from that stay away from the Social Security Trust Fund. Actually make it a trust fund. And so that way they can keep their money. And what I would do too is, if you want to talk about privatization, there's an employer match and a private contribution match. The employer match can go there, and my part that I contribute should be able to go to me so I can use that money effectively. And the Social Security Trust Fund can actually become a trust fund, not some imaginary accounting gimmick.
Never was in the Social Security Trust Fund. Basically, you're a senior, you've been putting money into your Social Security account all these years, and now all of a sudden you say, oh, we're sorry, Congress stole it from you. You never had that money. It was never put aside for you. It was always taken away from you. And if this was a just world, Congress, most of the people in Congress would be in jail today for stealing from our seniors. So what we need to do, we need to stop the theft. We need to put in a privatization program, take the money away from Congress and away from the senators so that they can't spend that money anymore. But we can't not keep our promise to our seniors who we've stolen the money from. It's not like the seniors did anything wrong. They just trusted the wrong people. They trusted their government, and the government has let them down. So we need to keep our promises to our seniors, but we can't allow this to continue. We need to protect the young people now who are getting to Social Security and make sure that Congress doesn't continue to steal your money.
Thank you.
Confidence in government is below 20%. Confidence in the financial sector is below 20%. And I don't see security in any third-party system. What I do see security is making sure that elected officials respect that money, as Mr. Melendez said. I mean, it is our money, it is your money. We watched them steal it in broad daylight, and what have we done about it? Absolutely nothing. You know, and individuals like ourselves sit in front of you and tell you, well, we're not going to do it, we're not going to do it. But then they get into Washington and they do it. You know, why is that? What party or who is driving those decisions? Because they sit here in front of you and tell you we don't do it, but then they still do it anyway. I run as an independent. There's no strings attached. I'm going to protect your money. It's my money too.